Hey everyone, it's Elise from Spicewalla, and I'm very excited today because we're preparing my favorite cut of beef, the ribeye. This beautiful ribeye has been sourced from Saltbrick Prime, which is a steak company out of New York. If you want a beautiful steak like this delivered to your home, follow the link below to get all the information that you need. So what we're gonna be doing today is just doing a plain sear, beautiful job. It's honestly the best way to cook a steak is in a cast iron pan. So that's what we'll be doing today. As far as flavoring this steak, we're gonna be featuring our smoked paprika, which is one of the 6 spices you can get in our limited edition Valentine's Day collection, Keepin' It Spicy 6-pack. Also linked below. So the rub we'll be putting on this steak is just smoked paprika and kosher salt. Very simple. We'll also be adding some coarse black pepper. And then once we move over to the cast iron, we're just gonna be adding some butter and some fresh herbs. I have some sage and thyme here. We'll baste the steak in butter right as it's finishing to create a beautiful medium rare steak. So the first thing we're going to do, first, I want you to take a look at this ribeye. You can see that there's really beautiful marbling around here. This is also a bone-in ribeye. And bone-in is best because it really holds the juices in the steak in. And also, all of this fat marbling is going to dissolve and just create a really beautifully delicious and juicy steak as well. So whenever you're looking for a piece of steak to grill or to pan sear, make sure it has all of this really nice coloring that you see here. So to prepare this, we're just going to liberally sprinkle this over every surface of the steak. And any of that that's left over on the outside, I kind of take and dab the outer edges of it. The great thing about using smoked paprika in this is that if you're cooking it inside, you still get that nice smoky flavor that you would from grilling it on a grill. We'll add some coarse black pepper. That's it. So you want to make sure before you sear your steaks, 2 important things. You want to make sure your cast iron pan is dripping hot, and you also want to make sure that your steak has come to room temperature. That usually takes about 20 to 30 minutes after you take it out of the fridge. So this pan has been preheating for a while. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of oil, a neutral oil with a high smoke point. So like canola or vegetable avocado oil works best. Olive oil has a lower smoke point, so it's actually going to burn if you use it in this kind of recipe. So you want to make sure you have enough oil in here just to coat the bottom of the pan. You don't want any bald spots. Once your oil is heated, go ahead and add your ribeye. We're going to sear it on both sides for about 2 to 3 minutes. So it's been about 3 minutes. I can see that there's some good crustage happening under there, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this and cook the other side for another 2 to 3 minutes. So really you just want to keep flipping it every 2 to 3 minutes. This is a pretty thick steak, so it's probably going to take about 10 minutes to cook all the way. If you put a meat thermometer in here, if it reaches about 130 to 135, you want to go ahead and take it out, or you can just kind of push on it and feel if it's still pretty tender in the middle and you can push down and it doesn't feel too tough. That's kind of when you want to take it out. So at this point, the steak is about where I want it to be. If I push down on it, it's still a little tender in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of butter, some fresh thyme, and some sage. And I'm actually going to turn the heat down because I don't want to burn all of this. But this is going to make a nice sauce and add some nice aromatics in here that I can start basting the top of this steak to give it a nice flavor. So at this point, I'm going to tilt the pan towards me a little bit and then start basting this butter on top of this. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn this heat off. Now we're going to remove this from the pan, place it on this cutting board, let it rest. That is such a big part of this. If you don't let your steak rest and you immediately cut it, all of those juices are just going to leak out. So if you take the time, let it rest for about 10 minutes, that's going to give you the best result. All right, so this has been resting for about 10 minutes, so we're ready to slice it. First, I'm going to slice this away from the bone here, get that out of the way. And then if you look, you can see that the grain is running this way. So you want to cut against the grain. So we're going to actually start on this side and start cutting about 1/2-inch pieces all the way across. And then if you want to get really fancy, you can kind of shingle these together on the board. Last step, we're going to use some cypress flake salt. So that's how you make a perfect pan-seared ribeye. The smoked paprika rub on this is really going to give it a nice smoky flavor. Even if you can't cook it on the grill, you're still going to get that beautiful flavor. So don't forget to check out our limited time Valentine's Day collection, Keeping It Spicy 6-pack, linked below, and the recipe will also be linked below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.